Hi everybody. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to share with you today. I know that I'm going to address, yesterday I shared with you the lifestyle I used to have when I was married to money, and I said something about not belonging anywhere, and I want to kind of correct that today. I have a life today that I feel like I pretty much belong in, and am doing so much better at taking those masks off and everything. So I want to share today an example of why I didn't belong or didn't feel like I belonged. Let me put it that way. I didn't feel like I belonged in that wealthy world that I traveled in for over a decade. And then I want to give you 3 examples of how I do feel like I belong today. And so, can y'all see my glasses? They broke. And there was a day when I would never, ever, ever have let anybody see me wearing broken glasses. And you know, it's all about taking the mask off, right? Thank you for being here today with me on Getting Real with Debra. We are getting real one day at a time, one layer at a time. One example that I wanted to share with you guys about that life I used to live, and just one way I didn't ever feel like I belonged, and not to mention that my ex's family made sure that I kind of knew I didn't belong. But we went to this fancy fundraiser, which, you know, you're off to do in a world like that. And I think it was something like $500 a plate. And there were all these huge food tents, and you could go to any one of them, and each one represented a different country. Well, I had had shrimp cocktail and stuff like that before, and had shrimp, but everybody was so excited about this Mediterranean tent. And all of the foods were flown in authentic. They were, you know, they weren't just the recipes, they were actually foods from that country. And so everyone was really excited about going to that tent and getting the shrimp. And so I decided, you know, what I was trained to do in that world, and what I learned to do, is that you always follow kind of the matriarchs, and whenever they go, you go, whatever they get, you get. And, you know, kind of like in the land of when you don't know what to do, you follow the leader. So I waited until everybody that we were traveling with, the matriarchs in that group, which certainly wasn't me, went to the tent, and we all got our shrimp. And we go and we sit back down at the table. And my friend Tracy was there, and she was sitting close to me. I don't remember where. And we weren't sitting by each other. But anyway, so I got this shrimp. And people they had gotten different dips and stuff, you know, for them. So I got one of my shrimps, and I didn't pay attention to what everybody else was doing. So that was my first mistake. You always follow the leaders, right? And you do that's how you learn how to do what you're supposed to do in that world. That's what I was taught. Okay, so I didn't do that. I got so excited about the shrimp, I wanted to taste it. So I dipped it, and I took a bite. I'm like, oh! And I start wiping my tongue off, and I'm like, how do you people, why do y'all like this? And I'm like, And my friend Tracy, she was cracking up. I don't know if she remembers this or not. But you had to peel them first. I didn't know this. Now I do, and I love raw shrimp, but I didn't know that at the time. And then I'm all like, why would you get your fingers messy like that? You know, because we all wore the big, long, fake nails, and you know, I didn't get the whole thing, and I had these scales all in my mouth, and my ex at the time, who, you know, my current husband at the time, he was so mortified. Anyway, so I got up, and I think Tracy, if I remember right, went with me. We went to the ladies' room, and I cleaned up, and anyway, that's just one example. Y'all might not find that funny, but I find that funny to this day. I mean, I bit into shrimp with the thing on it and everything anyway. So, and I don't usually share things like that publicly because, you know, I may get slammed for it. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm out here wearing glasses that are broken. And that's what the other examples that I wanted to share with you today are 3 things that are just endearing to me. And I'm learning, and I would hope that I could live anywhere now, whether it's in a world of wealth or overseas or wherever, and be comfortable in my own skin today. I'm getting there. I'm much better than I used to be. And because I'm learning to be genuine and taking the layers off, I think it's easier to be around me. I hope. I've got a long ways to go, but I'm certainly not the person that used to just live with all those layers on. A lot of them have gotten taken off. Have already gotten taken off, and I'm going to share that with you today in just 3 quick examples. Okay, the first example is as soon as I got back from roaming around and getting some of my bucket list checked off, I got back to camp with Robert, and that was such fun, and we laid low for a couple of days and just got caught up. And then boy, he had a lot of work ready for us to do because I'd been gone, right? We hadn't been making videos, and so we dived into work. And you know, we live together, we work together and play together and go places, and we're together a lot, other than when we are working and we're quiet and we give each other space. And we've learned to, when one of us needs quiet time or space or extra space, we let each other know and we work it out. And that requires communication that I have learned over the years that I would not have been able to do before. And so I'm very grateful that I get to spend this kind of time with this man and be able to say, hey, that's not working for me, or I need more space today. It's just like shooting this right now. I told him, I said, I'm having trouble today thinking, and I really need to get these shoots done for my new channel, and so I need to not talk for like the next 3 hours. And he's like, okay, cool. And I would hope that I do the same thing for him. And so, you know, I do belong today. I feel like I belong, and I have so many wonderful, great friends. In fact, the day after I got back to camp, we got a text that our friend Colleen, who you guys know through some of our videos on Two Meander, and we featured her wonderful Dodge ProMaster van. Well, she got bit by a rattlesnake, and we couldn't get to her because she was in South Arizona, and we just couldn't get there at the time. And so we called another friend who lives near there, and she dropped what she was doing and went and took Colleen flowers and cheesecake, and just, you know, who gets that kind of life where you have friends like that, people that don't even know each other, but they're willing to spread that love? And so that's a belonging that I wouldn't trade for anything. And so I just wanted to share that while I am working on taking the layers off, and I think we all are, and I want to know some of your examples, please. Let me know what funny thing you've done, or when you felt like you didn't belong, or when, you know, those moments when you feel like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I want to hear those from you too. But today, mostly, I don't feel that way. It comes up every now and then, and we'll keep sharing together when those layers need to come off for me. The wind's blowing, it keeps blowing my hair in my mouth. Sorry. That's probably kind of gross, sorry. But the third example that I wanted to share with you is that I woke up one morning, as I often do, and I'm not, things aren't firing, all the cylinders aren't firing, and I couldn't think, and I didn't feel good, and I was supposed to go have lunch with my girlfriend Sue Ann. And you guys, my layers used to be so thick, all the masks that I used to wear, there used to be so many of them that if I wasn't able to just be all polished and purty, I didn't go out the door. And so this day was just not a good day for me, and I threw on a buff, no makeup, and yeah, I wasn't going to miss my lunch with my friend Sue Ann for anything. I'm off to go have lunch with my friend Sue Ann. I'm so excited. Yay! Here we go. long. Her schedule is so tight with the upcoming Women's RTR and the helping with the RTR and all that she does, that all the committees and boards that she serves on, there is no way that I was going to miss that opportunity. And sure enough, we didn't get to see each other again before she had to leave town. So this getting to go see her and have lunch with her, just me being me, whatever that was that day, was another example of how I can live this life today, and how just being out here has helped me learn so much of who I am and honestly who I am not, and getting to be more genuine. So what do you do when you're feeling less than? Do you cover it up still, or do you just go and be you? Let me hear from you. All right? Love you guys, and we'll see you down the road. Bye.